Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now, as a gear reviewer and YouTube host, a lot of times I get the opportunity to test out gear from companies that many people may not have heard of. And so one of the brands that I've been greatly enjoying their gear is the company Emdom USA. So everything from this multi-use case to their dump pouches, other little pouches and gear, and the product that we're going to look at today. This is the Flex Inner Belt. So this Flex Inner Belt is a tactical style belt. Now, I'm the first person to say I'm not the most tactical person. I'm kind of like an outdoor wilderness backpacking and hiking type, not really so much tactical. However, what I can say is after using a number of different tactical products for the camping and backpacking application, there is definitely a place for it. And that's what we're going to look at today with this Flex Inner Belt. So something like a tactical belt, in my opinion, is an excellent option for a good quality belt for that outdoor use, the outdoor backpacking application, and is something that's going to keep your pants right where you need them. Now, there are some other advantages too to having an inner belt. So when I say inner belt, this is something that's kind of a new concept to me, but the idea that you put this belt around your waist, you loop it through your different belt loops, and then eventually add an outer belt. So this is the first piece of a two-part setup that Emdom USA is creating. This is their inner belt, and then in the future they're also going to offer an outer belt. The outer belt has MOLLE attachments and the ability to connect different pouches. That's where I think this system is going to be very advantageous. If you've looked at some of my prior hiking videos, you will know that I do enjoy having dump pouches right in front of me. The ability to carry my water, carry my camera gear, maybe have some snacks, things right at my fingertips, right in front of me. So to have this belt with the ability to add the outer belt and eventually be able to carry my pouches not connected to my backpack, a good quality belt that's not going to allow my pants to get dragged down. And there are some other features when we get into it, talking about these Emdom pouches, that make this a very advantageous system. So as we start to get into the features of this belt, the first thing is that it does come in multiple colors. So I opted for the color gray, which you can see matches very nicely with their other gray products. So this comes in 5 different offerings. It comes in gray, ranger green, black, multicam, and coyote. And this belt also comes in a number of different sizes. So you can get it in small, medium, large, and extra large. But you can also order a custom size. So that's the first thing that's very important. The fact that no matter what size your waist is, you can get this belt to fit perfectly for you. So even if one of their standard sizes isn't going to work, you can totally get this customized. Now, getting into all of the features here, generally speaking, you will see that on the outside of the belt, this has your Velcro field. So nothing other than a nice large field of Velcro here. So this is the hook and loop design. So one side being the hook, the other side being the loop, and the ability to adjust this to the exact size you need around your waist. So you'll see here, this does have the ability, a simple little pass-through design. This tab here, you can pull it and get this into shape, and this belt will never go anywhere. Once you really cinch this down, pulling on that, you will never be able to loosen this up. And that's where I see having an advantage with one of these tactical style belts. So when you're hiking around and climbing and you have your backpack pulling on your pants, the idea that this belt can be made perfectly tight to the exact size you need but will not loosen up at all is definitely an advantage. But the reason why this is called the Flex Belt, you will see that on the back this does just have a little bit of shock webbing here. So just nice, easy give. The idea being that this just will move nicely with you, has a little bit of flex when you need it, but is just good quality and stiff overall. So this again being the inner belt, and then the outer belt could eventually be attached to this. And that to me is an excellent system, good quality, ability to keep your pants right where you need them, but just enough flex so it's comfortable. Now there is some strategic rubberized material here. So you'll see this little patch of rubber, and then in the front, a little bit of rubber, again helping to keep the belt perfectly in place. And this is just nicely crafted. As you look through the entire belt, every stitch is perfectly in place. It's done strategically. You can see on the webbing portion the way it is stitched. These stitches are very strategic. The way that they're formed gives this the elastic capability, but binds it together the way it needs to. So very well done. Interestingly enough, as you get to the inside of this belt, you will notice that this has some stash pockets. So very interesting the way this was designed. So getting in here, you do have the ability to stash different items or gear. So this is that outer webbing, and then on the inside here, just these little flaps. So for example, if you had some cash, really wanted to stash it away, you could certainly get it inside here and stash it so that nobody is capable of seeing it. So as I get this tucked in there, goes away pretty well hidden. Now I wonder about my ability to then get my belt on. I'm going to test this out and see how it goes. You may need to be very careful about how you actually fold the money to make sure that it's capable of flexing with the belt the way you need it. Maybe you can't fold it too tight. Maybe it just has to be sort of laid flat a little bit in there. And there's probably a little bit of a technique to this to getting it right, but for the most part you can see that definitely works. Now something the size of a credit card here, you will see I just have this little SE card here, trying to get this inside here. Would I be able to do that? And the answer is no. So you do have a little bit of a limitation to what will fit in here. Now keeping in mind the fact that this is 2-inch webbing, so that's pretty standard for a lot of tactical belts. 2 inches is a pretty typical size. So this to me is pretty much a standard option, but with the ability inside here to stash some things away. You would be a little bit limited to what you can put in here, but you can see it does a nice job concealing the contents. So where this is a tactical style belt, I thought it would be a good opportunity to look at some tactical pants. And I have a couple of different options here. So here, some pants from the company Vertex. So I wear a lot of tactical pants. I like the overall fit and function and the ability to carry a different amount of gear on me in the workplace. These Vertex pants I've greatly come to enjoy. And so as I open up this belt here and go to slide it inside the belt loop, you will see that unfortunately for me with these Vertex pants, this will not fit. So is it an issue with the belt being oversized or the belt loops being undersized? I mean, I would say the belt loops are undersized, especially for tactical pants. So that's certainly not a knock on the belt. That's kind of a knock on the pants. And an interesting point. So if I were to review the pants, this would be one thing. I mean, these are considered to be tactical pants. You should be able to fit a tactical belt. But let's move on and see if that is a problem with other brands. So here, I have some pants from the company Blackhawk. Again, now, I'm already looking at this. This loop looks to be a little bit better. So as I take this belt and thread it in here, you will see that fits perfectly fine. So Blackhawk has it right. I mean, they know that you're going to be potentially using a tactical belt. So the idea that this belt is 2 inches, that is a very standard size for a tactical belt. So in that case, I would think tactical pants would want to accommodate that. And finally, the operator pants from LA Police Gear. Now I've had these pants for quite a long time. I have worn these, I would say almost ragged, but they're not. I mean, they're getting nice and worn and broken in, and I've really put these things through a lot, and they have been excellent. But what about these loops? Will it fit the belt? And after threading this through, the answer is yes, of course. These are tactical pants. They should accommodate the tactical belt. So most of these brands do accommodate the 2-inch webbing. Strangely enough, the Vertex pants don't. But for me, keeping in mind the idea that I personally will not be using this for a tactical application. I'm going to be using this more for the hiking, camping, backpacking application. And so for that, let's take a look at some more traditional backpacking or camping pants. So getting into it here, these are some North Face hiking pants, and these do have a webbing belt built into them. But I struggle where over the course of a long hike, these will basically slide on me, my pants get loose, my backpack tugs them down. It's very annoying and bothersome. So for me to have a good quality belt system capable of holding my pants right where I need them is definitely a plus. So with that, will this webbing fit through here? Well, as I get into it and I pull this through, it won't even come close. So the answer is no. Checking a couple of these loops, the answer is no. These will not accommodate the 2-inch webbing. So for these particular hiking pants, I cannot fit the 2-inch webbing. And my favorite camp pants, as is the case for a lot of other people, these are the Fjallraven Vita Pro trousers. So what about these loops? And I'm already looking at it saying there is no possible way. So straightening out the belt and trying to feed it through. Unfortunately, it is close, but not gonna go. I mean, it is very close. Could I force it through there? Yeah, sure. I could really kind of force it through and make it work. I think I could get these through, but I'm not thrilled about putting that amount of stress on these loops. I think, to me, it's a little tight to make it work. It would be difficult to get this belt on there ultimately. So to me, I'd say it's not really a viable option. And that's too bad, because for me, I would love to have a belt like this, these inner belts laced around my waist through all the eyelets and holding my pants into place. This is a good quality option that can just stay on. You don't need to take your belt off at all. You just keep this on in your camping and hiking adventures, and then having an outer belt where you could attach different pouches. Maybe you could attach your knife, and then when you get to your camp, if you don't want to have it stuck on your waist, you can simply remove the outer belt, the inner belt staying in place, doing what you need to keep your pants up. To me, that is very advantageous. And I think bridging the gap between the tactical application and the hiking and camping application, there's definitely something to be said for that. I enjoy a lot of the features and functions and overall capability of tactical gear. I like things that are MOLLE compatible. I like things that work and are very efficient. So modular and capable flexible systems definitely are great in the backpacking and camping application. I think that's also the case for a belt like this. So with that, I am making the case to Emdom to make a second version of this belt. Maybe instead of 2-inch webbing, it would only be like 1 5/8 inches, something like that, maximizing the overall span and width so that you get the most Velcro contact for your outer belt, hopefully allowing it to hold on tight, but making it small enough that it fits more standard belt loops. I love this concept. I think it would work extremely well in a number of different applications, not just the tactical application. So Emdom, to me, is a company that has a lot of versatility and flexibility in their products. You know, different things like, for example, mentioning this PMC case. This is originally supposed to be used for ammo and magazines. Well, I don't use it for that. I use it as a tool bag, and it's wonderful for that purpose. So I think Emdom has a lot of products that are multifaceted and can be used in a number of different applications. That is certainly the case for a belt like this. So Emdom, if you're listening, if you can make a second version of this in 1 inch and 5/8, 1.5 inches, something like that to fit more standard belt loops, that would be amazing. So as I get into this here, you'll see you simply pass this through, cinch it tight, then you kind of just hold it in place to hold that right where you need it, and then you lay that belt down nice and flat. So these pants are literally going nowhere. So once I tighten this belt down, there is no possible way for this to loosen up. So my pants are exactly where I need them. No matter what I do to move around, these are definitely going to stay right where I need them. And that to me is a great advantage when you're talking about something like hiking and camping and all that different kind of activity. So not just a tactical application, but your hiking application as well. Now, I think there could be a little bit of a logistics issue to what I'm about to say. I do feel like, generally speaking, it would be nice to be able to take the belt and cinch it down this way. but it makes it a little less versatile. You'll see that they would have to mess around with the overall layout of the Velcro, switching around the type of Velcro and the side. I think they could potentially do different alternating squares of hook and loop in order to accommodate this, but to me, this would be a little bit easier to install the belt this way versus having to hold this in place and then pull that over. I mean, no matter what you do, you end up with overlap. So it's not like the overlap on the belt is what's affecting it. It's really the overall construction and then which side you put that Velcro hook and which side you put the Velcro loop. But to me, it's a little easier to go like this and get the belt nice and tight. So I think there could be a way to kind of change this up. Now, it's a personal preference thing maybe, but a little bit of function would be gained, I think, and ease of installing the belt if this was reversed. However, it does not necessarily inhibit my ability to get this nice and tight and adjusted exactly as I needed. That does work perfectly fine. And then afterwards, if you had that outer belt, you would essentially install the outer belt around this inner belt. That would have your MOLLE attachments. That would have the ability to potentially connect different pouches. So for me, I would love to have my dump pouches right in front of me, get to camp, take that outer belt off, and I still have this inner belt holding my pants exactly where I need them. So good overall function and features in a multifaceted system. It's kind of an interesting place to put your own custom Morale belt buckle. And so just to wrap up a few final thoughts on this. So for example, where you do have the ability to stash money and things like that, this belt is a lot more concealed and capable of hiding the things that you need versus other options out there. So on a trip that I went on, I really needed to stash some money and I carried one of these. So this is made by AquaQuest. It is a very small and capable carry system that really is waterproof, but it didn't need to be for me. I really just needed something that was going to stash my money and stash my credit cards and get them kind of hidden away. So inside here you will see this pouch capable of, and it's really hard to open, capable of stashing your gear, and this tucks into your waist belt. So then you have this kind of bulky thing tucked into your waist belt on like inside where your underwear is. It's a little bit uncomfortable. So the idea for me that you have this little stash inside your belt around your waist is a little bit better. So this has a lot of good features. It's a great product in my opinion. I like the concept. More importantly for me, not the tactical application, but all the other opportunities you have to use a belt like this. So before I go away, I'd like to say thank you very much to Emdom and all of their support. The different products that I've been able to test and try and review and look at by Emdom have all been excellent. I have a couple here that are about to get some good quality field use coming up into the hiking and backpacking season. This belt is definitely one of those products. So again, I'd like to say thank you very much, and I appreciate the quality gear you're producing. So all right guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.